Okay, so in this video, I'm going to do the sample midterm. The first thing we'll do is to read the problem description. In this exam, we are going to create a web application that manages online polls, and the application must be implemented as a Spring Boot MVC application. The main page looks like this. It lists the existing polls, and there's a create poll link. Add answers. Clicking on a poll displays a poll. For example, what programming language do you know? Java, Python, C++. Note that a poll consists of a question and a number of possible answers. Can be single choice or multiple choice. Single choice poll, the answers are displayed with radio buttons. Multiple choice poll, the answers are displayed with checkboxes. A user can click on add answers to add more answers. So that one, and so it's basically a field to add, and after the answer is added, should be redirected back to the add answers page. Okay, and back to polls will take the user back to the main page. User click on create poll, the application shows the following page which can create a poll. Note that the single choice checkbox is checked. The poll will be a single choice poll, otherwise it's a multiple choice poll. And add answer page. So does this say what happens if we click on this one? Oh, yeah, it displays a poll and add answers. Okay, so so that is that, and let's first create a project, and it's going to be a Spring project. I'm going to call it Midterm, and Midterm in Spring Boot. Else we need FreeMarker, DevTools, and the web will. It doesn't ask us to do validation, so we don't need to do validation. Okay, so whenever we do a web application, the first thing is to create the model classes. And here we would have a poll model class, and the poll will have a question and a number of answers, and each answer is just a string. We also need to indicate whether it's a single choice or multiple choice. Okay, so let's create a model class, and I'm going to put this in model, and the name we'll call it poll, and inside we'll have, we need the ID. We do need the ID because we need to add to a poll or display a poll. Okay, so we'll do what we did before. We'll have a static field. And then we'll have ID, and we'll have a name, and we'll have a Boolean field, single choice, and we also need to have a list of possible answers. Okay, and let's do a constructor. The constructor will will take two things. It will take the name and it will take whether it's a single choice or not. So the ID would be, let's start with 1. And then name would be name. Single choice is single choice. And we need to initialize answers. Otherwise, when we try to add something to it, it will give us a null pointer. Okay, and then it's just setters and scatters. We don't need setters and getters from the static IDC field. Everything else would need a getter and setter. Okay, so we have our model class, and like what we did in the guestbook example, we would want to have a bin that contains the list of data plus initialize it with a couple of data entries, so later on we can implement display without having to implement add. So let's do that. Again, I'm going to call that, let me refresh this one so that, yeah, so that the packages look nicer. And I'm again going to call this data store. And this one will be annotated with component so that it will become a Spring Bin, and inside we will have a list of those. Import, and uh, as I mentioned, we would want to create a couple of posts so that we can do this. We can implement the list post operation before we have to implement creating poll. So let's say post add a new poll. Let's say what does it do? What programming languages do you know? And this one would be a multiple choice poll. So a single choice field would be false, and the second one would be who is the greatest basketball player of all time, and that would be a single choice poll. So it says true, and then we create getters and setters. Getters and setters. Okay, so now we have our data models, and let's do the controller. So I'm going to add a new controller class, and I'll call it controller. And let's put it in the controller package. Controller. And so, okay, so we need the data store being inside here, and we'll do what's that called? Since charter injection. Data store and constructor data store. Okay, let's import that. All right, so now we have the data, and we need to pass the data to a model, to a view through a model, and we'll say model add attribute, and this one we'll call it post, and so the data store post. Okay, so now we have the controller. Let's do the view, and the view goes under template, and the view name is index. So let's create a new HTML file. It's going to be called index HTLH, and we'll say post, and what do we have here? Okay, we'll have a link, and this link will say create post, and we'll have a table. So we'll say table, and we'll have a header row. No, we don't have header row. Okay, so this one just say list directive, and then list. Okay, so the model object is called post. Post as poll, and inside we'll have a number of rows, one poll each. The first will have the poll name. Is it name? Yes, it is name. And we'll need to add a link to display the poll, and I'll call that option view. And we'll put the poll ID here, and then we'll have another one which says add answers, and I'm going to call that answers. ID answers, something like that. And, okay, let's see if we get anything. Let me run this application. Open up browser, go to 8080. Okay, so we have our first operation, which looks reasonably close. And then the next operation is if I click on a poll, it displays a poll. Okay, so that means we want to implement this view operation. This one will take the ID. If I click on this, it says view/1. Okay, click on this, it says view/2. Okay, so it gets the correct ID, and that means let's add the view operation here. And before we do that, like in the guestbook example, we would want to have get poll by ID method here. So we'll say for each poll in polls, if get ID is ID, will return it. Otherwise, we'll eventually return null. Then here, not here, in the controller, we can then do view and then ID. So it's going to be a path variable. And we'll say view path variable ID. Well, we need a model because we need to pass that poll to the view. So we'll say add attribute. This one will be called, it's going to be data store get by ID, and then we return the view name, which happens to be called the view. It's okay. And let's implement that view. Again, HTML file. I'm going to call it view.html. What do we need in there? We need the question. We need the answers. Okay. So do we need anything else? No. Okay. So here we would say name. That would be the question. Is it the question or is it the name? I think I probably should have called. So this one should be called question instead of name. Yeah. Do I want to change it? Okay, let's change it because I'm a little bit OCD about this type of things. Okay, so we'll change it to question, and so this question is changed, and all this are changed, but the getters and setters are not changed. Let's remove this one and regenerate the getters and setters. Where is it? Source, generate getter and setter. We want the one called question. Okay. And so the controller probably don't need change, but we do need to change this one. Instead of saying name, it has to be changed to question. So let's see if that one still works. Refresh. Okay, so it still works. Great. And now going back to this, we'll say question. and that will display a number of uh, answers. So what we'll do is we'll say list so dot answers as answer. Uh, for each answer, okay. So here we'll have to say if O is single choice, then we'll need to display input type review button, and then we'll need to display the actually we can do that later. So we'll say else will display a checkbox. We close if. Is that what it looks like? We'll find out. And then we display the answer. Something like that. I think we either need a line break or we need to put it in a paragraph. Let's see if we want to put it in a paragraph. Let's put it in a paragraph. Something like that. Okay, and let's give it a try. If I click this, it's probably not working. Let me open a real browser to see. Okay. Fail to convert type string to integer for input string view. Which part? I think it's probably the let's see. I think this part is working. It's probably the view part. Let's see. Number format exception for input string view. Number format exception. Does it say which line problem happened? Method argument failed to convert value of type string to type int. It seems to be in the input string view. It seems to be here. Mm, I think for some reason it tries to convert this one into ID, not this part. I'm not quite sure why. It makes a difference if I change that one to display. Oh, I got it. I forgot to change the suffix to FTLH. Let's see if that's the issue. Okay, so that was indeed the problem of the previous error, and now we got a second error. We at least got the question displayed, so that's the good news. And the bad news is that something is evaluated to null or missing. Okay, so I think I misspelled answers here. Answers. Okay, so this is good. There's no answers yet, and so we don't have anything. Okay, so that's good. So now we have implemented the second operation display, and let's create a poll. And so this is where we do the get mapping and add, let's say, string add and return add. Here I'm going to use the Spring input macros for free marker because there's a checkbox here. Checkbox is one of the more difficult form controls to deal with because unlike other fields, if it's unchecked, the form doesn't even submit that parameter. So it's better to let Spring handle that. The way we'll do it is we will add basically an empty pole to it. Add attribute, and we'll call this pole, and we'll say this one is empty pole. By default is multiple choice, and post it should be easy. We just do data store get post and add, and that should do it. And after adding the poll, what do we do? We redirect to the add answers page. Okay, so we need to redirect to the add answers page. Actually, let's redirect to the list poll page first, because add answers page we don't have. There's an error. There's already poll controller bin. I think we just need to stop and restart. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now let's create our add form, and so new HTML file, add, this time remember to call it FTLH, and so I'm going to import the Spring input macros. This one, and what does it look like? It looks like a question and then a checkbox. So it's going to be a form. Method is going to be post, and the question is going to be something like this. Where is it? Here. So it's going to be called poll question, and then we display a checkbox and then say whether it's single choice. So remember what's the input macro for checkbox is called Spring marker input macros. Where is it? Here. It's called form hidden, form password, form text, form select, form multiple select, form radio button, and form checkbox. Okay, so it's this one. And so it will say form checkbox and poll single choice. And then we will display single choice. Single choice. And let's do a button. Let's create. Okay, so it looks reasonable. Let's give it a try. Where is it? Here. So refresh. Oh, I haven't started. So let's start it again. There's an error somewhere. There is already poll controller bin method. What does that mean? Error creating bin with request mapping. Let me see what did I do in my controller. View add. Don't think I did anything different. Let me do a clean. And let's see if we can start it this time. Oh, there's something wrong in the code for sure. So it's in the add method. When it tries to do get add, I think I did because my mapping. Oh, that's because I copy paste this one, and this one should be post mapping. We cannot map two methods to the same URL with the same request method. Okay, so this time it should be working, I think. Let's try. Okay, so no error this time, and let's refresh. Let's create poll, and it shows the question, but not the checkboxes. Oh, it says checkboxes. Do I want checkboxes or just one checkbox? I want one checkbox, not the checkboxes plural. So this should be one checkbox. Okay, so now it looks reasonable. Let's say, what's your favorite color? It's a single choice one. So what's your favorite color? So it looks decent. We don't know about the single choice, multiple choice part, but we'll find out. And so we have implemented three operations. The last one is add answers. So the add answers page looks kind of like this page with additional form. So that shouldn't be too difficult to do. Where is the controller? Where is the controller? Oh, that's guestbook. Here is a controller. So let's grab this one. So we are going to map it to answers. And this one is get mapping because later on I'm going to host to it. And this one will say answers, and it will take an ID, get the poll, and then display it in answers or answer S. And so answers looks like a view. I'm going to copy this and then paste it, and change the name to answers. So it will display full question, and it will display current answers. It doesn't need the radio button or checkbox stuff, so we can get rid of this part. And then what? Then we need to add a form. So this form, once again, we don't need action because it will submit back to answers, and method is going to be post. We need input text and name, call it answer, and we need a button. Let's add. Okay, so this should do it, and then go back to here and also post. So post mapping will be answers ID password string ID and also a string answer that comes from the form. So what we need to do is we need to get this one. It will get the poll and we will get the answers in the poll. No, not the get class. Get answers in the poll and then we add this answer to it. Okay. Then we redirect to somewhere. It says here, after a new answer is added, redirect back to the answer page. So we can add more. Okay. So let's say return redirect to answers. Then this should do it. Let's see. We refresh and we create a new poll. Favorite color and single choice and add answers. Say red. Oops, something is not working. But I don't see any exception there. Let me go back to here. The internal browser oftentimes. Oh, so we have error here. The following has been evaluated to null, missing answer. Oh, where is it? So it says this one is null. Is it because we added a null answer or something? That's I guess possible. So let's try again with another one. This time make sure we don't add a null answer. Oh, redirect, misspelled redirect. Redirect. Okay, so let's try again. Create a favorite color, single choice, and add answer red. Fail to convert value of type string to required int for input string answers. Did I make the same mistake? No. So this one is indeed have the FTLH suffix, and this one should take in answer. So this one post to answers. Requires int, which means so this is get mapping, this is post mapping. think it cannot get the ID. Oh, see the URL is wrong. It should say answers slash the ID, not answers. Why is that? Why is that? Let me see. So if I say add answers, okay. So this one give us the URL answers slash 2. And if I have a form here, it should submit back to answers slash 2. I think maybe it's the redirect part. Yeah, it's the redirect part. Okay, I got it. So the redirect part, so this part actually works, but when it redirects, current URL is answers slash 2, for example, and if we redirect to answers, then it redirects to answers slash answers. Okay, got it. And here we actually should redirect just to ID. All right. Okay, so favorite color one more time, and add answers red. So this time it is to the correct URL, and answer is missing. I think I once again misspelled answer. So yes, so this one, this time it should be okay. Let's find out. Refresh, add answers. Red is there, yellow is there. And if we go back and click here, once again, misspelling, I think. Okay, so single choice, it shows as what's that thing called? Radio button. Okay, so let's change this part. So after a new poll is created, we're supposed to redirect to the add answers page. So let's change that one first. Where is it's this one? Okay, and instead of redirect to slash, we redirect to answers slash last poll dot ID, something like that, I guess. And let's also add a back to polls link to add answers page, and that will be this one. That will say oops, something like that. Okay, I think everything should be working now. Let's give it a try. Refresh. I'm going to start with creating a new poll. Favorite color. and this one is a single choice, and redirect to add mm, answer. Okay, back to poll, and if we click favorite color, display it as radio buttons. Let's create one more, and this time we'll say um, um, ingredients for pizza. Okay, pizza toppings. Pizza toppings. And this one is a multiple choice, so we'll have what do we have? Pepper. How do I spell pepperoni? Pepperoni and cheese, extra cheese or cheese. Mm, I don't know, beef. And so these are displayed as checkboxes. I think, oh, pizza, nice. Um, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think we have implemented all four operations.